By the way, the last time faith was an issue in a presidential election was obviously John Kennedy, where people truly were concerned that perhaps the president would be dialing up the Pope for advice. Obviously, that was put to rest, and I don't think that's people's concern. Personally, I care that someone is a person of faith. I don't care what faith it is. If you're a Muslim, if you're a Jew, if you're a Mormon, if you're an... But I do care that you're a person of faith.
Why? It irks me because I'm not a person of faith, so that offends me. What does that make me? Am I not a good guy? Am I... What does that do to me?
All I would tell you is I think people of faith who have a deep and abiding belief in God, whatever they think of that God, are recognize humility, recognize compassion, recognize that humans are imperfect, recognize that we need guidance.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Hit me. You guys know me.
I think voters who are worried about, one way to think about it is this. The President of the United States is the most powerful office in the country, probably the most powerful office in the world, and I think it probably makes voters feel a little more comfortable with the idea that the person in that office thinks there's somebody in the universe more powerful than him.
Well, I think why does being a member of a major religion an arbiter of that? You know, a person who's perfectly spiritual and believes in God doesn't have the stamp of a religion on their
Rush Limbaugh is a person of faith. I don't think he thinks anybody's more powerful than him, and I don't think he's a compassionate person. But to your point,
that's an easy caricature.
But to your point, I think that the value right now, religion has become this sort of stand-in for values, for having some sense that you are not the smartest person in the world, and that that there's a standard beyond yourself. And to that extent, I think it is important.
But let's talk about, let's not, you know, the elephant in the room is the Church of Latter-day Saints, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormonism. This isn't, as every other presidential candidate has been, Buddhist, of course. No, Christian. I mean, this is Mormonism, and there's a lot of mystery and question, and, you know, people don't understand it. Is that different, though?
It is different in the sense, I mean, Mormonism is this interesting mix, because on the one hand, it's the most American religion there is, right? Founded right here in the United States. The American continent plays a...
very strange.
But it makes it very strange. No, and that's precisely why it's strange.
Yeah.
People, you know, the idea that Jesus of Nazareth will return
is a Yankees,
Missouri,
is a Yankees fan.
It's a strange idea. But I think there's also a sense of the Mormon Church as a little more secretive, maybe, than the sort of the norm. You can't enter the major Mormon temples and so on. I just think that there's sort of that perception goes a long way towards explaining. It's not sort of specific. It's just a general unease.
One of the ways to dismiss that mystery, which I think people are starting to do, and which Romney will do himself tonight, is to talk as a human being. I can remember when I started as a secretary in a small 9-person firm. Every single one of the people in that firm was a Mormon. I didn't know anything about Mormonism other than a few strange things I'd heard. But what I found out was that each and every one of those businessmen was a person of fine character, a great family man, and more importantly than that, 2 of those men said to me, "We think you can do more than be a secretary. Why don't you learn something about business?" They changed my life for the better.
Right. If we're talking anecdotes, every single Mormon I've met is the friendliest person in the world, and very warm. But is Mitt Romney very warm? Can he be what we are anecdotally saying?
Well, I think this is why, if he can be, it's probably in talking about his faith. I mean, you know, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me. You know, we're in this situation now where you have the President of the United States, who's allegedly a Muslim, and so we're obsessed with his faith, though it's not the faith that he has.
That's an Obama fan.
Yeah, but half of the Republicans say that he's a Muslim. We'll Google it.
We'll Google that. We'll look at how many Republicans think the president is a Muslim. Everybody has to look that up, and let's see if we respect the fact checkers, because there's been a lot of fact checking.
Fair enough.
But right now we got to throw it back to Wolf Blitzer. Thank you guys very much. Great conversation. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Back to Wolf Blitzer right now.